TKO Boxing with Sherry Abbasi, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Big Bang Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to you for giving me a bit of your time today, and I hope everything is going well for you in preparation for your fight on March the 8th.
感谢你接受采访，希望你这个3月8号的训练正在有条不紊的进行。
现在接到通知之后，然后确定完比赛之后，然后一直在训练，现在训练营非常好。
Yeah, appreciate that. The training is going really well. Actually, after the news, after the official announcement, I've been training very hard and I feel very well.
Excellent. Zhilei, I suppose for me, the first sort of question to ask you is, we don't see a lot of Chinese boxers, first of all, and especially heavyweights. You know, he's a very big man, right? Big man. And I would like to know how, Zhilei, you started your journey in boxing and what led you to the path of becoming a boxer, an amateur boxer, now into the professional ranks as well.
一般很难有人看到中国的面孔出现在重量级拳台上。你是怎么样开始你的拳击生涯的？能介绍一下，一步步走到今天？
拳击生涯从业余时期啊，
长话短说。
从业余从15岁吧，15岁开始接触拳击，然后就慢慢打到现在，中间呢也有很多艰辛的历程，所以说走到现在也离不开团队，我们整个团队，现在通过去年的2场比赛，然后让世界拳迷看到有中国人的面孔出现在国际的赛场上，也让世界拳迷见证了中国力量，希望他们多多的喜欢我。
I actually, it's a long story, but I started at age of 15. I started my first boxing training, and I had my ups and downs, highs and lows, and here I am. Through two fights last year, I believe that a lot of boxing fans recognized me and knew who I was, and I really want to keep delivering good fights to people and whoever like my style and whoever like boxing all around the world. I would like to have people's support.
Absolutely, and I think Zhilei, you would like to hear. I have a full-time job where I work in an office, so there are a lot of people who watch boxing, UFC, these types of things, and they always come to me to ask me about boxers and who to watch and these types of things. And they actually all saw his fight against Filip Hrgović. A lot of people thought that Zhilei won that fight, rightfully so, and unfortunately, whatever happened with the decision. But they then watched his fights with Joe Joyce, and a lot of them now have him in the top 3 or 4 heavyweights, potentially even number 1 in that sense. So profile has definitely gone up in the last 2 or 3 fights, and they all very much like his style as a southpaw, as a big puncher, and they call him Uncle Zhang lovingly.
他有很多同事哈，他有很多同事做别的工作的同事都喜欢看比赛。你的 Hrgović 的比赛争议很大，很多人觉得你赢了。同时呢，这2场赢了乔伊斯之后呢，他们很多人叫你张叔叔、张伯伯，对你非常的尊敬。
Thank you. 通过这2场比赛，通过这3场比赛吧。
Yeah, go ahead.
通过这3场比赛吧，然后所以说大家对我有一个新的认识，可能说从来没有见过中国人能够站在世界重量级的拳台上面，然后我的出现呢，然后给大家眼前一亮，中国还有这么大的块头，然后这么能打的人，然后拳特别重，速度又特别快，然后所以说大家也比较期待我的下一场比赛，然后等3月8号。我们将再次见证中国力量。
I kind of understand why, because at first when people talk about me, nobody know who I was, and I was fighting on some undercards of certain good fighters, and since the Hrgović fight and the Joe Joyce fight and the rematch, I believe that people start to pay attention to me, like where is this guy coming from? So they have this curiosity in their mind that they want to figure out. That's why that's where my motivation come from. I want to deliver good fights for everyone.
Excellent. So congratulations on your big wins in 2023 against Joe Joyce, Zhilei. I think most boxing media and fans alike will say he had potentially the knockout of the year in second fight in particular, when Joe Joyce was someone who'd built up a lot of momentum. and people thought he had an iron jaw that could not be cracked. And Zhilei showed not only in the first fight can he be stopped, he can also be dropped and viciously stopped by a brutal one-punch knockout. So congratulations on your victory as well for that.
首先要恭喜你这个胜利啊，因为乔伊斯的胜利，你可以再讲讲你对乔伊斯的看法。因为乔伊斯呢，很多人觉得他钢铁下巴打不倒、推不倒，但是呢，你上去两下，特别是在第二场比赛的时候啊，还有很多人把你评为年度最佳的 KO，证明了他这个钢铁下巴也是能被你摧毁的。那对于这个，很多人都祝贺你啊，你怎么看呢？
乔伊斯呢是非常一个有绅士的一个队员，然后有坚强的意志，有坚强的下巴啊、在没有遇到我之前，然后15场比赛全胜，14场 KO 对手，然后这个战绩是非常辉煌的，在重量级里面。可能说在一番战的时候，我也有所顾忌的因为我心里面也信心也不是100%的有能把他能够赢下。但是随着比赛的推进呢，然后可能说我比较幸运嘛，然后第一场比赛，然后把他因为他眼睛受伤，然后终止比赛，裁判终止比赛啊，呃。一直到二番战结束，二番战时候，然后因为我和他一番战已经打过一次，然后我知道一些怎么去应对他的办法，然后所以说回来之后，我的有更加刻苦的去训练，更系统的去训练，所以说在第二场比赛中，然后就很轻松的就赢得了比赛。可能说乔伊斯输完比赛之后，但是他的人格魅力啊，包括他的呃。都是还是非常高的，都非常好，
Thank you for saying that. But I think in my mind, Joe Joyce is such a great boxer and he's great personality. Because when people look at him, his 15 before me, he has 15 victories, 14 knockouts. It's unbelievable in the heavyweight division, in such a high level. And I give him a lot of respect. He's such a gentleman. The first fight, I went in there not knowing what he's bringing to the table, so I was a little uncertain of what he's trying to do. With the fight going on, I keep hitting his face, his eyes, and then the eyes swelled up. And I think I was lucky the fight went that way. And the second fight, because I went in there knowing that what he was trying to do in the first fight, so I was prepared for the second fight. I went in there and proved that the first time is not a coincidence. So I want everybody not to write Joe Joyce off. He's still a top dog, and give him a lot of respect.
Yeah, Gilles, the next question was actually going to be about Joe Joyce, just because today they announced his comeback fight in March. So I was going to ask if you had any words of encouragement or anything nice you wanted to say about him to encourage him to continue fighting, but he's already answered that question beforehand.
那你就把他下一个问题都已经回答过了。乔伊斯马上3月份打比赛了，想让你可能说两句话，有没有什么说的？但是你已经基本上都回答，还有要补充的吗？
没有，这3月份他马上3月要比赛了，然后希望他能够全力回归，然后祝他比赛好运。
Yeah, I was expecting him to have a full return in March, and good luck to him.
Absolutely. Of course, Zhilei is also returning in March, 1 week before Joe Joyce will make his return. Zhilei will be fighting Joseph Parker, who's a former WBO world champion, a heavyweight champion, in fact, who's fought some great names recently of his career best performance against Deontay Wilder. He's fought Anthony Joshua before, Derek Chisora, Dylan White, Andy Ruiz Jr. So he's been in the ring with a lot of top names over the years. And he's he's 31, so he's still fairly young as a heavyweight. What does Zhilei think about the fight, and how did the fight get pitched to him as a fight to make next?
那下一个对手呢？帕克他其实打过很多硬仗啊，包括跟约书亚、怀特，包括跟鲁伊兹都打过，所以他的这个简历上呢写满了这个名人的名字。你觉得你跟他打，而且他还很年轻，31岁，那你觉得你跟他打这下一场比赛，你对这场比赛预期是什么？
帕克呢是一位绝对的强者啊，年轻、饥饿、速度快、发力强啊。虽然很多人认为他爆冷击败了威尔德，但是我赛前我就看好他12个回合能赢得比赛啊，这是一个非常强劲的对手我期待与强者对抗。我10年前在世锦赛和帕克比赛， 我赢过他，当然那已经是十几年前了。然后现在我们两个都在进步，都在进步，然后期待下一场比赛一定会非常非常的精彩。嗯。
Mm. So Parker is an absolute strong lad, and he does not say no to nobody. He beat Wilder, which I predict that before the fight. I know that he's going to go distance with Wilder. He's going to beat him. So I saw that coming. When you look at Wilder, like you said, his resume is just full of excitement, top names, and he's always been there. He's done that at a young age. I believe that the next fight with me and Parker, no matter how he plays out, it's going to be a huge, exciting fight.
Absolutely, and someone like Zhilei, similar to Joseph now, in the last year and a half, they both built themselves up again. Like Parker, sort of at a younger age, had a few big fights, won some, lost some. But Zhilei has, especially in the last year and a half, his profile has gone up, and so has Parker's. So this will definitely be a meeting at the right time in terms of where they're at in their career.
那这场比赛会是一个强强碰撞吗？因为帕克最近打的也很好了，打的很多场比赛，赢了一些，输了一些。你最近的风头也正劲，觉得会是针尖对麦芒的这种好比赛吗？
对这一场比赛，我想在3月8号一定会非常非常精彩。肯定这场比赛的精彩度，肯定压过主赛约书亚对阵纳甘诺的比赛。虽说他们两个是主赛，但是我和帕克的比赛将是当晚的最精彩的比赛。
Don't you think this is the main event? Because when you look at Joshua and Ngannou, you look at that, it's okay, it's a money fight. It's everybody's paying attention to it, but when it comes to the skill set and the boxing aspect of the fighters, don't you think this is the main event?
That is a completely fair comment from Gillet, and I think as a boxing purist who is looking for the best, most competitive fight, you may argue absolutely when you've got someone from MMA coming over in his second professional fight against someone like Gillet, who's been a great amateur, someone like Parker who has an amateur background, who have both gone to the elite world level. Absolutely, from a skill set matchup and experience, Gillet and Joseph Parker, there's no issue if anyone calls that the main event of that card.
对，肯定是。如果说是从拳击来理解的话，你跟帕克的比赛绝对会超过了约书亚跟纳甘诺的比赛，不管他们有多少的金钱在后面或者眼球在后面。哎，技术从拳击上来说，你们这个肯定超过了他们这个比赛。
是这样的，是这样的，因为当晚的约书亚和纳甘诺是一场10回合的表演赛所以说也不算是真正意义上的拳击比赛。
I look at it as a 10-round exhibition fight, not particularly boxing at a high level, but that's how I look at it.
Now that's a completely fair opinion. There will be a lot of people out there who hold that opinion as well. So that is perfectly fine for Gillet to think that. Absolutely.
对，很多人也是你这个想法。
因为他事实就是这样，所以说，沙特呢，这几年呢，已经成为职业拳击的焦点随着去年的清算日的成功全世界的目光全部都聚集在沙特。拳击呢，最近几年呢有很多诟病因为不同的转播商、不同的推广人之间的利益，所以说拳迷很难看到强强对抗拳击运动的流失，很多粉丝，但是黑斯Slim Slays，然后改变了这一切。然后我们看到泰森·富利对纳甘约书亚有击败沃林呐，然后帕克击败沃尔德呀，在世界上只有这一个人能够让拳迷的梦想成真他就是拳击的造梦者。
But I do want to say something for this magnitude of this fight, because when you look at Saudi Arabia and look at the whole event, the boxing has been losing a lot of followers because the strongest is not fighting the strongest, because different networks, promoters, and organizations and stuff like that. Now they comes to this country, comes this person, His Excellency put everything together. So now everybody sees the money fight. Everybody sees the big fight. He put the fights together and deliver it in front of the world. So I think I give him a lot of credit for making this happen. In boxing, His Excellency is a dream maker.
Definitely. Right now, I think Mr. Turki Al Sheikh has obviously shook the boxing world in the last few months with all of the big fights getting made. How did this Joseph Parker and Zhang fight end up being pitched to you? Was it directly from Mr. Al Sheikh?
那说到这个阁下呢，他肯定是造梦者，但是你跟帕克这场比赛是他直接一手操办的，还是中间怎么会你俩谈成的？
因为应该是阁下促成的吧？啊，
Yeah, I think it should have been. I'm not too involved in the negotiation, but it should have been. Without him, it's not nothing
因为
else.
他想
Nothing
看
could be
到
done.
强，因为他想看到强强对抗，他想
Because
让
he
世界
wants
全，
to see.
他想让世界全民看到强强对抗。
Because he wants to see the strongest fighting the strongest, and he wants the world to see that.
Absolutely. And like you said, boxing needs that. I think we currently have a potential golden age. So many good heavyweight fighters and fighters in all other divisions that it is time to make the fights happen, regardless of all the politics.
对，因为背后的政治的东西，你如果要摒弃它的话，就真的能带来很多好的比赛。
呀，应该是这样的。因为我们要把拳击本身做好啊，对吧？有时候可能说现在的拳击就是慢慢的把利益最大化了，而脱离了拳击本身。所以我们要回归拳击本身。
That's what boxing is about. Because when you look at the sport, a lot of people look at it's a money, it's how you make money. But boxing is boxing. It's a pure sport, and people can be successful through the sport of boxing. But that's I think that's the way it should be. Just focus on the boxing side of it. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they focus on the business side too much.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely. I would like to ask Zhilei about his experience on the undercard of Joshua versus Usyk, first time fighting in Saudi Arabia. How did he find the whole event, the way it was set up, and also, obviously, in the Asian continent, China is a particular way. How did he find Saudi Arabia to be? Was it a major culture shock, or did he find it quite easy to settle in that fight week? And what was the whole experience like for him?
你在沙特是打过一场比赛的，当时去的时候，作为一个中国人，在这个国家有什么样的体验呢？觉得这个国家怎么样？
国家非常漂亮，非常漂亮，然后对拳击的热情啊，对体育的热情非常高。然后最近，你像很多体育赛事，包括拳击的大赛，现在都已经转移到沙特，非常好。这对拳击的这项运动也非常好，你像足球，然后把 C 罗又迁到沙特，这都是为沙特的体育做了很大的贡献。
I think when I went there, my impression about that country, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful country. Everybody's welcoming me as their home. I had really good time over there. I enjoyed the stay. When you look at Saudi recent years, they've been making a big push through in sports, not only boxing, but in sports in general, football, tennis, and they're doing everything in the book, trying to bring the culture to this country.
What happened?
I think he cut off by accident.
Yeah.
1 second, he's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, Kurt. He's back.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I got a call coming in.
It's okay, no problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem. It was just about his experience in Saudi Arabia on the undercard.
He said it's a great. I don't know where you lost me, but
you were saying that he said he enjoyed the experience. It was great hospitality and the way he was treated there. The reason I asked that was just because obviously right now Saudi is making a big push for all sports, like you said. So Riyadh season is a big 5 or 6 month project every year now. So just wanted to know what Zhilei's thoughts were. I myself, Zhilei and Kurt, I've been to China once in my life. Back in 2017. It was only for one night because we stopped in China and then went to Thailand. So it was like a layover for one night. We were in Beijing. So I went there and I saw there's a long strip where the palace was. I can't remember the name. Something, there's like a palace. I don't know what the name is. A long strip there. I don't know if you know. Do you know what it's called?
It's like there's a summer palace.
Might be that. I can't remember the exact name, but we went there. And for me, again, I'm Pakistani, so China and Pakistan are quite close on the map, of course. But China's massive. Of course, we look different, we speak different languages, but we're very closely linked in a lot of ways. But for me, it was a amazing experience just that one night seeing China. We went to the bird's nest as well, saw that on the outside and how big that was and what an infrastructure that was. I wanted to know what Zhilei thought about potentially headlining a big fight at the bird's nest and putting China on the map from a boxing perspective and putting on a massive event there.
他的祖籍巴基斯坦对中国也是很友好，但是他去过中国一次，在北京待过，去过紫禁城、鸟巢，中国的印象跟他很深，这个发展跟他很深。你觉得如果你在中国打一场比赛，会不会造成一种万人空巷的场面？
肯定会，肯定会，因为现在在中国，你要通过上场比赛结束之后，然后回到国内，就是回到国内之后，然后就走在大街上，然后环卫工人都认出我来，然后就一顿就是合影啊，打招呼啊，然后就是通过这两场比赛，我回到国内，我几乎都不敢单独出门，然后，但是这一次在沙特比赛呢，我听说这一次在沙特比赛，然后中国准备组成一个庞大的观赛团要去沙特，然后大概有几千人，所以说如果说下场比赛如果在中国能举行的话，我估计肯定是万人空巷的那种感觉，
I believe if I headline a fight in China, the street's going to be empty because everybody will be in that venue. Because when I came back after the Joe Joyce rematch, like I received a tremendous reception everywhere I went. People recognized me, and I just could not go out of my home. I couldn't do that. But when I was walking on the street, even the guy who cleaned the streets recognized me and wanted a picture with me. So that's how crazy it was. But I believe if I headline a fight in China, people will definitely come out to support.
Absolutely. So he's become a bit of a national hero now.
现在是国家英雄了吗？
现在基本上是，然后大家对这场比赛也非常期待，也希望能够在中国本土，然后见证我的比赛，然后让世界拳迷通过拳击，然后更好的了解中国。
Yeah, I could say that. And one thing is that I heard the rumor of like a big delegation from China is going to Saudi, thousands of people. It's good to cheer and good to see that fight. So let's see what happens.
That'd be amazing. Brilliant. Zhilei, just before we wrap up, I'd like to just look ahead to March the 8th. In your head, how are you looking at approaching the fight? I know you can't give too much details on the game plan, but we saw what Joseph Parker did against someone like Deontay Wilder, even though you're much heavier than Deontay Wilder and you're a southpaw. So I'm sure Joseph Parker's game plan may also be different as well. But from a technical aspect, how would you approach the fight? And would you go for the knockout or would you look to box and see if the knockout presents itself?
在不透露太多你的计划或者是你的战术的情况下，能不能尽可能多的讲一讲你对帕克有什么了解，或者是有什么打算，打的时候怎么跟他打？
帕克，你看，速度也挺快的，然后也比较灵活，然后出拳量也非常多，现在基本上这个确定比赛下来之后，然后每天呢，我的脑海里面全是他比赛的情景，他出的每一拳、每一个动作，然后全部印记在我的脑海中。然后包括吃饭的时候，包括训练的时候，然后都能感受到他比赛的那一种场景。然后所以说，慢慢，我会把他的每一个动作、每一拳、每一个动作，我会把它印到我的大脑里面，然后做出怎样去应对他，怎么去反击他，或怎么样。这是我和肖恩教练，然后下一步的训练内容。
So me and my coach Sean George, we're working on this every day. But one thing I can tell you, without giving too much information, Parker's fast. He's explosive. He throws a lot of punches. His combinations up and down. But I know I'm watching his fight. I fought him in 2011, but that was history. And one thing I can tell you is that anytime, anywhere, he's in my mind. It sounds awkward, but I've been thinking about him. It's when I drive, when I eat, when I sleep, I think about him. Every move about him is in my mind. So this is my next step. I'll make sure his movement becomes a habit in back of my head. So whenever I need it, he's there.
Absolutely. So, like you just said there, Kurt, Zhilei's mind is fully fixed on the next fight because he knows he can't slip up now. He's the WBO interim heavyweight champion. He's mandatory for the next slot in the WBO. So the dream of becoming a world champion is only technically one fight away. So you can't take his eye off the ball in this fight.
你这个专注是有原因的，对吧？因为你 WBO 的位置你丢的，你这个很重要。如果说是赢了 Parker，那就一场比赛之遥，对吧？
Yes， 所以说现在不敢大意，然后所以说现在就静下心来，然后应对就眼前的下一场比赛就应对帕克，然后所以说也不会去分心，然后我和我的团队呢会和教练呢和体能教练呢会针对他做下一步的针对性训练，所以说我们今年的计划可能大概就是把过度2个字去掉，然后我们拿到属于真正的世界金腰带。
So I don't have any time to waste. Me and my team are working around the clock to make sure we're well prepared. My trainer, my strength conditioning trainer, everybody's on the same page. So this year, my goal is to take the interim off, directly go to the world heavyweight champion.
No problem. Zhilei, just as a last sort of, not a question, but to let you say what you want to say, do you have anything you would like to say to not just the fans in China, but the fans around the world, the UK, the USA, Saudi, about what we can expect from you come March the 8th?
那最后一个环节呢，就是有没有对某一个人或者是某一个群体，中国的拳迷也好，外国的拳迷也好，想说你自己想说的话？
首先呢，感谢沙特，感谢阁下对这场比赛的促成，然后也感谢英国的拳迷，感谢马上中国要到达沙特看比赛的拳迷，感谢他们对我的关注，对我的支持，然后我会奉献出精彩的比赛，让大家再次见证中国力量。
I would like to say thank you to Saudi Arabia and especially His Excellency for putting this together and allowing me to showcase my ability over there. I would like to say thank you for all my British fans. I know I got a lot of supporters over there, so thank you to them, and thank you to the possible Chinese delegation, that thousands of people who are possibly going there. So thank you to all of you. You'll see Chinese power again.
I was going to say Chinese power. I was going to say Chinese power. That's
然后还要谢谢他的采访。
And thank you for your coverage, Sherry.
No problem at all. Zhilei, like I said, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate this tonight, and hopefully I will be out in Saudi for the fight as well, the fight week. So I'd love to sit with yourself, Kurt, and Zhilei as well and catch up face to face. That would be lovely. I'm going to try and learn some Mandarin as well, a little bit, just so I can have a bit of fun with Zhilei.
You're good already. You're good already.
I was on Google. I was on Google Translate a little bit, trying to just practice. You know, I was like, was it ni hao ma? You know, shishi Zhilei Zhang. Is that goodbye? Thank you. Goodbye.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Sherry. My pleasure.
Zhilei,
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Okay, bye.
Take care. See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you, brother.